Cairo, 1985. An old man sits alone in a courtyard garden, reading a book in the afternoon light. His neighbors know him as Tarek Farid Hussein, a retired doctor, quiet, polite. He shops at the local market. He attends the mosque. He has lived here for over 20 years, and no one has ever asked where he came from. In West Germany, his real name is printed on wanted posters in every police station. Aribert Haim, €2 million reward, the largest ever offered for a Nazi war criminal. Mossad, Interpol, German federal investigators, the Simon Wiesenthal Center, all searching, teams deployed across 3 continents, Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Spain. Dozens of informants, hundreds of surveillance photographs. None of them were him. He was here in a Cairo garden, reading a book. June 1941. Mauthausen concentration camp, Austria. A Jewish prisoner is brought to the camp infirmary. He is approximately 18 years old. He has an infected foot. The doctor who receives him is Aribert Haim, 27 years old, tall, broad-shouldered. Haim does not treat the foot. Instead, he injects a substance directly into the young man's heart. He performs surgery without anesthesia, removing organs while the prisoner is still alive, observing how long each one continues to function after removal. When it is over, he has the young man's skull cleaned and placed on his desk as a paperweight. He repeats this with dozens of others. There is no protocol, no oversight, no approval required. Survivors will later give him a name, Dr. Todd, Dr. Death. He is stationed at Mauthausen for 6 weeks total, then transferred. The war continues. May 1945. Germany surrenders. Haim is held briefly in a U.S. Army processing camp. He gives his name, presents his medical license, and says nothing about Mauthausen. He is released, one man lost among millions passing through a broken system. He returns to West Germany and becomes a gynecologist in Baden-Baden. He marries, has 3 children, buys an apartment building. He lives this way for 15 years. Then, in January 1962, investigators make a quiet move. Haim is brought in over a tax matter and released the same day. But he reads something in their faces. That year, Adolf Eichmann, taken from Buenos Aires in 1960, has been tried in public and executed. Haim understands what is coming. On September 18, 1962, he drives from Baden-Baden to Munich. It is night. He leaves his wife, his children, his life. At Munich airport, he boards a plane. He is never seen in Germany again. 1979, official arrest warrant. Interpol notice. The Simon Wiesenthal Center names him their top priority. The assumption hardens across every intelligence agency. He went to South America. For 30 years, the search focuses there. A mid-1990s surveillance operation in Spain ends with the wrong man. The reward climbs to €2 million. They are 45 years behind. He is in Cairo. He has been there since 1963, arriving with cash and forged documents, renting a room at the Cecil Hotel in Garden City near the Nile. Over the years, he learns Arabic at the market, the mosque, the cafe. He converts to Islam, takes the name Tarek Farid Hussein, and prays 5 times a day. By the mid-1980s, the money from Germany is running low. He writes letters to his son Rudiger, mailing them from a post office box with no return address. He writes hundreds of pages of diary about Mauthausen, about what he did, about why. There is no apology in any of it, only explanation. He never once writes the name of the young man whose skull sat on his desk. In 1988, he is diagnosed with rectal cancer. It returns in the spring of 1992. On August 10, 1992, Aribert Haim dies in his room at the Cecil Hotel. He is 78 years old. In West Germany, the wanted posters remain on the walls. His son, Rudiger, says nothing. For 17 years, he sends flowers on the anniversary of the death. 2005, a German documentary filmmaker finds a buried note in an old file. An Egypt laid. 2007, 2 New York Times journalists, Nicholas Kulisch and Swad Mekhanet, open a full investigation. They spend months in German archives, reading decades of reports, sitting with aging Mauthausen survivors. Late 2007, A sealed file at a Berlin tax authority reveals Heim's safety deposit box, untouched for 45 years and still collecting interest. Inside, a medical license, letters, and one envelope addressed to a post office box in Cairo. They book a flight. January 2009. Cairo, Garden City. They find the Cecil Hotel. An elderly staff member remembers, very tall, always reading in the garden, died a long time ago. His belongings are in the basement storage. It takes 30 minutes to find the box. One old cardboard box covered in dust, a name written in Arabic. Inside, a photograph decades old, the face matching the press files exactly. And beneath everything else, the diary. Hundreds of pages, handwritten in German. One date written inside, August 10, 1992. The most wanted Nazi in history had already been dead for 17 years. February 4, 2009, published in the New York Times. Germany's reaction is immediate. There is relief. There is anger. Half a century spent searching on the wrong continent. The €2 million reward goes unclaimed. A 91-year-old Mauthausen survivor sits before a documentary camera. He died in bed in Cairo, he says. He received last rites. He had time to make peace with himself. A long pause. The people he killed did not. The bank account in Baden-Baden, untouched for 47 years, still accumulating interest, is seized by the German government and transferred to the state treasury. 3 failures made this possible. The failure of speed. In 1961, prosecutors had the evidence and moved too slowly. The failure of assumption. South America became certainty, and the Egypt lead sat in a file that no one opened. And the third, Rüdiger Heim knew. For 17 years, he said nothing. The diary runs to hundreds of pages. Across all those years and all that writing, Aribert Heim never once used the word sorry.